Now we're here in a place where there's a lot of distractions, and we have practiced in these places before, of course. But I'm still acting as if it's the first day I ever brought him here, and you should too, wherever you take him. And if there's people, like there's people right there, which you'll see in a second, I don't even have to say the COME word. I just show the target and he comes my way. I draw him away from the distraction just with my hand, but if he was away from me, I would call him to come to me. But since we have carts and all kinds of things here, people walking right past, good. Somebody passes by, gonna reward them. You're gonna have that on the street in your neighborhood as well, and that's the way to do it. I mean, obviously, calling him to COME when he's right there in front of you is kind of useless. And if he's looking at you anyway, that's what you want. You want to have the opposite of what you had before. You want him, and I don't know why he loves these streets so much today. He's been fed, but he also loves to work. This dog just is all about doing the stuff with me, so it's really great, and he will be with you as long as you practice it. But what you want is him seeing the distraction, turning back to you, and you just pay him, because you're paying, literally you're paying good. And do that if you can. It's a pet, it's a good and a treat, just like as if he did come when called. You're paying this new behavior pattern. And we've done it hundreds and hundreds of times, so it's becoming just who he is. And you'll see it as we stand here by the front door. People walk past, and why don't you put your back to that pallet, or else they'll walk behind you. And I'm gonna wait until he sees somebody, he looks back at me, good. See how that works? Looks back at me, good. It's a great exercise to do. You could just stand, to get comfortable with handling him and get a new result from him being out on the street. If he doesn't turn around, come, call him back to you. There are people at the front door you can't see. We have things with wheels, we're really close to them, so people that, good. People that have carts to go past, good. So he didn't even turn to look at it, good. So we're literally feeding a new behavior pattern, which is instead of looking and staring and maybe even wanting to go over there, now he's looking, choosing to turn back and look at you like that, good. Like that man who was just walking past, just keep doing that. So also, and we have a couple more distractions here, which I'll do this and then we'll launch into other stuff. So see, all you do basically, people carrying things is usually a bigger target than, or people walking with walkers like this. And we're really close, there's nowhere else to come. He was interested in that person because anything that's unusual that he hasn't seen much, come. Or people walking right past us like that. Good. We're in a tight spot here, but you can see how you can even control him, and every day that we have this result, that problem he used to have starts going away more and more. The wrong thing to do would be to correct. He's had a shock collar used on him. It made him way worse, obviously. We talked about that. He's been corrected, and a correction will fuel the aggression in this dog. So you don't want to correct. What we're doing now is we're working smart. We're showing him a better way. Hey, instead of going over to those people that you think are weird or whatever, turn back to me. Turn away from them, ignore them, because that person with the walker is just a signal to turn back to me and get paid in his mind. And then you get this great behavior where he can't stop looking at you, and you'll see if you do this just around your house on free time in your backyard, he's just going to be staring at you all the time. That's why there's no command to look at you. If you're training him properly, you don't have, it's okay, no, it's cool. Yeah, it's fine. It's no problem. If you're doing all the things you see on the video, there's no look command. You can't stop the dog from staring at you because you made yourself, because you're handling him differently, you've made yourself important in his life, and you're not just like a possession he guards out on the street, which is one of the reasons he's doing that with you. Super smart dog. Come! See, I led him purposely towards that cart just to show you that one more time. So this is the way to do it. Don't put yourself into situations that's this crazy where I really have nowhere to go and the people are like literally 5-6 feet away from me. But I just want to show you, once you practice this move and get it down, you can do it anywhere, and every day you do this, he gets a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. So we're really, one last thought, important point, to give you incentive to keep doing it. We're constantly, every day we do this, we're undoing old behaviors. See how he's staring? No food, come. Good, just use the come command even if you ran out of treats, like I just ran out of treats. But he may just turn back to you. He turns back to you even without any food. Good boy, love him up when he does that, because that's the most important part. But we're undoing all those times you had a problem. So literally, in a lot of ways, it's just about number of times, number of repetitions. The more repetitions we do of the appropriate response to that situation, which is totally different than the inappropriate response. Good boy, still no treats. The farther in his history, back in his history, that behavior goes. So just practicing this. You see how it goes, you see how it works. It's really starting to go now. It's like a snowball going downhill. Just keep doing it, and he gets better and better. No more shocking, no more correcting. We're gonna be this way because these guys are coming our way. Come, see that? Good. The kinds of people that he would probably want to protect you against on your street, and everybody's so close here. But hopefully watching this video will give you incentive to keep practicing so he just gets better and better. Come. Good boy. Sit. We're always having Kirby sit at boundaries. Waiting, especially when you're going to take him out on the street, because you need to start, you need to start his training on the inside of your house before you open the front door. So you do this, you open the front door, he sits like this, he waits, you bring him outside. You have gates like I have here, you have him sit, you open the gate. Okay, and you can create boundaries if you don't have this kind of gate. Just create a boundary at your stairs, right before you leave your porch, at the curb, like what we're about to do. Come on, buddy. And he's so used to starting the walk calmly now because of the way I've been handling him. There's no, hooking up to the leash and going, all right, man, let's go. And then he takes off, because what happens with a dog like this is that they end up on the street and they're just raring to go and they're all hyped up, and you see another dog or whatever that distraction is that he has a problem with, a squirrel, and he's off to the races, because he's like, if this is his breaking point, he's like, here, you let him pull you out to the street or rush, or you're not giving him enough structure, any of those things, and he sees a squirrel, he's over the top. So you always start the walk on the inside of your front door, sit and wait, open the front door. If he makes a mistake and pops up, you're going to reset him a couple of times. You saw me reset him once there. Gate, curb. Okay, now we're about to do the curb. And we may see some distractions out here. And if we don't, we're going to create our own. We'll bring dogs out. Here we are at the curb, sit. Leash is always loose. You saw it. I had him walking next to me. I was just tapping and walking slowly. If you don't walk slowly and if you're not calm, he's not going to be calm and he's not going to walk slow. So it's all according to how you handle him and handle the leash. Come. All you do is you have to use the training instead of whatever was happening before with you and it wasn't good. So we have more distractions. Workman coming out of here. Come. Call your dog back to come to you away from distraction. See how he'll come anywhere this target goes to. See how the leash stays loose. He might be excited, but if you use the training, come. It works really well. Good. And you always keep the leash loose, because this kind of stuff and controlling him and forcing him or letting him pull you around is going to make him more overstimulated and, of course, increase aggression. Now you just have interest. And also, see, he's looking around for something, but he'd much rather come to this target. Good. Right now, I have today I'm using little pieces of hot dog, just tiny pieces. But let's say that you get surprised by a dog or something. You have nothing. you practice with rewards so that when you don't have time to grab one or you don't have them on you, just use your empty target hand. Come, and he comes to it anyway. He doesn't know it's empty. See that? Good boy, love him up big time. If you don't have a treat, and say good. Notice that when I call him to me with a treat, when I practice with a treat, which is how we got this kind of behavior, it's come, good. Then we have a distraction here, somebody getting out. Can you see that? He's interested in whatever this is coming out. Yeah. And it's just a person. We're on the street now, and we're just waiting to be surprised by some dogs. And notice how, like, if we're just hanging out and he's sniffing the grass, like this is exactly what he does in your neighborhood. He's got to smell everything. He's kind of hyper. He's so energetic. And I'm keeping the leash loose though, because if you're like this, or if you're letting him pull you around, that leash, that constant tension will make a dog more overstimulated. So you want to not have that. You have the leash over your left hand like that. And he's just ready and raring to go for anything he might see. And I got my back turned to this gate, but there's going to be somebody popping out of this gate with a dog. And I'm pretending, luckily Kirby doesn't understand what I'm saying, I'm pretending that I'm just taking a casual walk here. And see that dog? Come on out. Come. Call Kirby away from any distractions like that. Good. So just bring the dog out. Yeah, there you go. Hold on to the end of the leash so the dog has some slack. Stay there. Hold on to the end of the leash. See what I'm doing? Just let the dog be free. Let go of the leash with the other hand. Yeah, just let him be normal. You see how he's looking at that dog? Come. We're going to call him away. You're going to use your high value rewards. Right now I've got like little tiny pieces of cheese. You know, a lot of cheese is not good for him, but just a pinch. Come. If it's cheese, good. Or if it's a hot dog, or if it's some sort of dog treat that's high value, chicken breast is great to use as well. Just natural chicken breast, no salt added, no skin. And you see, we've done this so many times with dogs. Yeah, he's interested, but he's not pulling. And this is what will happen. Good. He'll just, because of the pattern, it's all about practicing the same pattern over and over and over again. In his mind, another distraction. Really, with the dogs, it's distraction is a distraction is a distraction. They're all distractions. There's lower level distractions like a leaf that falls or noise he hears is over there. And then there's a high level distractions for him, which would be squirrels, of course, although we don't have squirrels in our neighborhood, but dogs on the street, people pushing walkers, that kind of stuff. Good. So we just practice with every distraction, and so it's starting to happen after a few weeks of this. Any distraction, it's always, he notices it's an involuntary reaction for him to, oh, what's that? But it's a choice he makes to turn away from it, to come back to me. And you see, I'm keeping this hand open. Hey buddy, look at this. I'm keeping this hand open so you can see I have no treat, but I can still just do this. Come. And he'll come wherever I go. Good. Notice I'm backing away. You don't have to back away that quickly. Of course, I have a lot of practice at it, but even if you went like this, come and just move away from the dog, it draws him to you quicker. So always do that. Always keep the leash loose. Can you walk around, just go back and forth? Maybe if he moves a little bit, he'll be more interested. I've never practiced with this dog before, but it is just a dog. Don't come this way, but just kind of go back and forth. And he has no interest because of how many times we've practiced this. I think we're about to be surprised by another dog. Oh, it's a little dog, so let the dog be free. So the dog is normal, just like this dog is free. Staring, come. Don't allow him to stare. Staring plus tension on the leash creates leash aggression in Kirby. But constantly being on a loose leash out here, come, creates a much more relaxed Kirby. Yeah, if we got together and we let him sniff and we did that thing where both dogs are straining to come to each other and we both said, oh, my dog's good with other dogs, and we did that thing, it could cause him to react in one of his old inappropriate ways. But we're not doing things the way that it was done before, and he's relaxed. Can you walk around and make the dog move a little bit? There we go. And we can even get a little bit closer because I know, come, that I can back away and I can draw him away from any distraction if we practice this way. Now I just want to leave you with this, that I have two different dogs. There's going to be a big dog, and then there's a little dog, just because some dogs are much more reactive to a little dog, or vice versa. So that's why I brought a couple of different dogs out to show you. But this is something that you have to practice a lot. Luckily, you have a house with a yard. You want to practice just the come command, exactly how you see me doing it throughout these videos, in your backyard, everywhere. Even before you go on the street, do it in your front yard where that gate is, and then you can always call him way back to your driveway or way back to your porch or wherever, away from distractions walking past your gate, because you always want to practice any behavior that you're just learning in a way that you can control the distractions, and you can control his access to the distractions. So don't even go in your front yard to deal with people walking past or dogs going past until you're really confident. Come, you can do this, good, he's responded to you. Like, do this for a week at least in your backyard. Have your friends, family help you. The more people that are practicing this the right way, the better he's going to get. That's why he's gotten so good. We have several other people during the day that call him to come to him as well. So more than just the trainer, but other people. The more people that he does this with the correct way, the more he's going to generalize, the easier he'll generalize and accept doing it with you. It's always a challenge doing this stuff for the owner, because dogs associate behavior with people and places. The dog goes home, the dog thinks, oh, now I'm back here, David's gone, and I'm not at David's place on those streets or at that Home Depot, and I know what I do here, so I'm going to start doing what I did here before, because they're triggered by your presence, by being back with you, and the trainer's not even there anymore. So that's why you practice all your moves in the backyard, in your house, where there's no distractions, to get a feel for it, get to where you can do it. Then you start in your front yard. It's very methodical. And then on your sidewalk in front of your house, because you're going to see people, you're going to see dogs all the time, leave that gate open so you can call him away from them, from the sidewalk, and back into your yard, because your gate's open. So that's the way to do it. If you go slowly and carefully and pick your battles wisely and practice in that way, you'll get way farther way sooner, rather than just like, okay, let's go on a walk, and you're several blocks away from your house and squirrels are everywhere and dogs are everywhere and he has a big episode. You're going to lose a week's worth of training that way. So take it slow, have little successes. If there's something that he seems like he can't handle, or that you're having problems handling him, call me. Of course, I'll come and help you. But take it slow, and you'll get much farther a lot faster that way. And soon you'll have what I have on the street with other dogs. You have this so we're just like 6 feet away, 7, 8 feet away maybe. He turned away from the little dog, the leash is loose, and he got a reward. Now, and see how the distractions become irrelevant as you practice this? Okay, bud, let's go.